Hi, this is Andrea Schulman from Raise Your Vibration Today. And there's been a few viewers that have been watching some of my videos, and they've seen that I've referenced on a number of the videos that I used to be an addict. And so I've been getting some questions about how do you get over addiction with the law of attraction. So what I wanted to do, since today, August 23rd, is the anniversary of my sobriety, I figured today I'd share with you my story on how that worked out for me and pass along that information to you so that if you or someone that you love or care about really wants to get over addiction, hopefully this information will be encouraging and helpful. So my addiction lasted a very long time. My primary addiction was to opiates. So opiate drugs like hydrocodone, OxyContin, all the way up to really hard opiates like methadone, all the way down to more mild opiate type drugs like kratom and hydrocodone. But my addiction with that spanned off and on for about 20 years, a very long time. And along with that, really alcoholism. I didn't realize I was an alcoholic at the time, but the amount and frequency with which I drank was really in excess of what most people ever managed to achieve in their lives. And that was really nonstop across the same period of time. In addition to that, I dabbled with lots of different street drugs. I won't get into all that. But the long story is it was about a 20-year period of struggling a lot with substance abuse. And as somebody who knows about the law of attraction, through my journey with the law of attraction, this was something that was frustrating to me because I was seeing that I was attracting a lot of cool stuff, but I was maintaining my addiction. And I think when it comes to anything, if there's something that you have in your life that you don't want, it's really critical to understand why do I believe I have to deal with this? So what ended up happening for me was I really just got to a point of realizing that I was holding on to some beliefs. Namely, the big one for me was the belief, and this is pervasive throughout our culture, that once you're an addict, you're always an addict. I really believed that. I really believed that I might be able to get myself off opiates because I'd done that a number of times. Like I could fight through withdrawal, which by the way, if you haven't gone through it, you never want to. It's vicious, it's horrible. I could fight through it, but I always still wanted the drug. And I believed, like a lot of people believe, that once you're an addict, you're always gonna crave it. You gotta take it day by day. Every day is a struggle. That kind of a mentality, I really believed in that. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that mentality was keeping me in a position that even if I could get off the opiates, I always still wanted them. I always still craved them. I also held on to a simultaneous belief that getting off of drugs was gonna be hard and that you have to pay the piper. So if you're getting off alcohol, if you're getting off pills, that you're going to suffer, that you're gonna get sick. And that was always my experience. But I really just got to a point of understanding that those were just limitations. And I had one day, and I know you can't see it because there's a green screen, but in this room there's a couch right back there. And I was sitting on the couch and I just kind of looked up and I said, I believe in the law of attraction. I believe anything is possible. So I know that in this infinite universe, there's a possible way for me to get off drugs that's easy and that allows me to do it without withdrawal and that allows me to really be cured and to move on and no longer want these drugs. And for some reason in that moment, I just did that and I moved on. And that's really what the law of attraction is. It's about knowing what you want and knowing that it's possible for it to come to you and tossing it up there, tossing it up to God or the higher perspective or the higher power or the universe or however you want to phrase it, but knowing that it's out there and tossing it out there rather than trying to figure it out. Just toss it up there. And that worked for me. Because 2 days later, I was looking through my emails on my phone and one of these hippie newsletters that I subscribe to, and I subscribe to a lot of them, one of them had a subject line in it to the effect of that there was this African plant that cures opiate addiction. And I'm like, wow, I was just asking for that, so let me look at this. And in that email, it told about a substance called ibogaine, which is a psychedelic plant that enables you to go on this crazy psychedelic trip But when you come out of the trip, you no longer want opiates. And it also works on a variety of other drugs as well. I'll link up some information about that substance if you're interested in learning more. But it just felt like guidance. It felt like it came to me because I'd asked. I did some investigation. It seemed like the right solution for me. I ended up going to a treatment center in Mexico called the Genesis Ibogaine Center and took ibogaine, and it worked beautifully for me. And this is another thing about the law of attraction. When you toss things up, they can be so much better than you think they're going to be. Because really, all I really wanted was to get off opiates. That's all I really wanted. But that substance not only got me off opiates, got me off alcohol as well. And in addition to that, the experience was so profound. It brought me so much insight. It allowed me to become a lot more authentic, a lot more honest about who I was. I feel so much more confident since going through that experience. And it really just set my life on fire ever since I took it. And so what I set out to do to get over an addiction ended up being so much more. In fact, the addiction portion of that experience to me is minuscule now compared to all the gains that I actually received. So I just wanted to share that information with you. You know, if you're struggling with addiction, I feel for you. I understand. Oh my God, it can be miserable. I totally get it. And I know a lot of people out there don't get it. But I wanted to share this story with you in part because people were asking, but also in part to plant a seed because I know that it's possible to get over addiction and no longer be an addict. I don't identify as an addict. I don't feel like I'm in recovery. I was an addict and now I'm not. I know that that's possible. And I know it's possible to get over addiction without withdrawal. And I know it's possible to get through addiction and have it be an awesome experience because that's what happened for me. And so maybe ibogaine, that's the information that's being delivered to you. Or maybe there's another method out there to help you get out of addiction. But I know that it really starts with believing that it's possible. And instead of trying to figure it out and do it the hard way, instead of that, start to really resonate with that idea that it's possible to get off of drugs and that it's possible for the universe or God or that higher power to lead you through that to a favorable outcome. And I know that because it worked for me. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I really hope that you find this information useful. Bye-bye.